Welcome back. I'm still with barrister and commentator Stephen Barrett. Stephen, let's talk about, well, first of all, today the Prime Minister gave his approval to the mega Chinese embassy, which will be near the Tower of London, in the heart of Britain's financial district. What was interesting about this is it finally seemed to awaken President Trump to the madness of Britain's Chagos Islands giveaway. He's been, ever since that ludicrous saga began to unfold of us handing these very strategic islands, which are used by America and other countries to fly very strategic missions across the Middle East and the Far East. It's right in the middle of the Indian Ocean, and it was ours. And ever since Starmer and his ludicrous acolytes, that cretin Richard Hermer, the Attorney General, human rights lawyer, and that shady character Jonathan Powell, all anti-colonialists, anti-imperialists. We must give the Chagos Islands back to its rightful owners. Mauritius, which has never owned them. And Mauritius, which is a very good friend of China. Absolute madness. Well, it's taken this approval of the Chinese embassy to wake up President Trump to the insanity of what Britain's doing to the Chagos Islands, giving it to China's best friend. Why we're doing that baffles everybody. The reason is what I just told you. It is that, you know, Starmer, Hermer, Powell, they are old-fashioned socialist anti-imperialists. They see our control of the Chagos Islands to be a throwback to British colonialism. That's the only reason they're giving it away, even though giving it away is a tremendous threat to Western security. It's woken the president up to the insanity of that, because I don't think he was across it until today. But let's talk about the Chinese embassy first. And if you bear with me, Stephen, this is Kemi Badenoch on today's events.
The super embassy is not in British national interests. It is ludicrous to compare a Chinese embassy to an American embassy. China has been spying on our country. We've seen cyber attacks, lots of threats, theft of intellectual property. I don't think we should be comparing China to the US. One of those countries is a strategic military ally. We have a close relationship with the US. We have a big trading relationship with China, but that doesn't mean that we should allow a super embassy that will enable lots of nefarious activities that would be a threat to national security.
Well, that's Kemi Badenoch, the Tory leader, of course. In fairness, let's get Labour's side of the story. This is Labour Cabinet Minister Dan Jarvis on the Chinese embassy.
This government is engaging with China confidently and pragmatically, recognising the complexity of the world as it is and challenging them where we need to. Because for our security, our economy and our climate, China matters. And to be clear, this is not a question of balancing economic and security considerations. We don't trade off security for economic access.
Confidently and pragmatically, I would say, in fact, Keir Starmer and his government are dealing with China like a poodle. They've sort of bent over and done exactly what Beijing wants, exactly what Xi Jinping wants, because they're too terrified. Clearly Xi Jinping and his gang will have said, if you don't let us have this embassy, the trade implications for Britain will be enormous. He's terrified them. It probably would have caused some economic problems, but perhaps we should have stayed strong, because this embassy, heart of the financial district, it will be able to file cables straight down to very important cables that are carrying the world's top financial deals to all over the globe. Everybody knows they'll be able to drill in, spy on the information, make mountains of money for Beijing. And God knows what else they'll be able to do. There's all these rooms underneath which they think will be used as cells. Not unusual for foreign embassies to actually keep prisoners in their consulates. So that'll happen as well. Well, frankly, I think what we should have said to China is, look, we don't want to fall out with you, and you're quite right. You're a major power. You should have a mega embassy. We've got a lovely site for you in Cambridgeshire, something like that, don't you think?
Yes, it's perfectly acceptable, and we should not kowtow to people. I'd also like to point out to listeners and viewers that 2,000 years ago, some very enterprising and lovely humans hand-carved a Buddha into a cliff in Afghanistan, which was incredibly beautiful. And then 2,000 years later, some humans who had fallen into complete madness of a perverse religion simply used TNT to blow it up. For no reason at all other than satisfying their mad ideology and to no benefit of humankind in any way. That's basically what Labour are now. And Dan Jarvis, who used to be a vaguely rational or sane person, literally said that we have to do all this for our climate. I mean, I'm sorry, that is mad talk. You have to point out, and I think, Kev, it is to do partly with the death of Christianity or the fact that these people have moved away from it, that they just grasp some other religion and they've gone for the weather gods are angry at me. Unless I do stupid things, the weather gods might get cross. The winds might blow in a furious way. Ooh, I best cower under my bed. This Labour government is not rational, and it is a threat to national security. That is now, I think, clear to Donald Trump. I would have liked to seen Kemi Badenoch promise to rescind the Chinese embassy. That's what I didn't see. And I think, again, they sort of baby step towards responsible government, but they're still very much thinking in the way everybody, in their defense, everybody thought like this for 30 years. It's just led us into the madness of where we are, and we clearly can't think this way anymore. We cannot think it is rational to give away the Chagos Islands. I sent a tweet, and I stand by this. Giving away the Chagos Islands is the equivalent of the government sending a bunch of lorries to Tate Britain or the National Portrait Gallery tomorrow and then driving out to Kent and throwing the contents into the sea. There is no reason to do it, and it is seriously destructive to our country.
Perfect analogy.
Insane.
Good analogy. Good analogy. Now, let's talk about the Chagos. Obviously, our relations with our special relationship ally America are not very good at the moment because Donald Trump seems to want Greenland. My solution to the Greenland problem is easy. It's easy. What you say to Donald Trump is this. So we stand up to him. We say, Donald, you can't have Greenland. You can't buy it. But you're the most powerful country on earth. So if you want it, by all means invade it. Go on, invade it. Send your army in. Send your air force over. Carpet bomb Greenland. Then you can have it. What would he do? He would back down, wouldn't he?
He'd back down from that. I mean, my answer is let the Greenlanders decide. What I've seen in the hypocrisy from the left, and they would never have said this about Northern Ireland or indeed Southern Ireland. They would never said that it was a decision for the Irish and the British. They wouldn't have said that. They would have said it was a decision for the Irish. And actually, that is the position in international law, and I stand by that. It's for the Chagos Islanders to decide whether or not they're free and they want to stay with us, which Labour are ignoring. And it's for Greenland, not Denmark, to decide whether or not Greenland wants to be free. Everybody who says Greenland and Denmark is wrong on the law and probably a bit weird. I mean, that is, why would Denmark get to decide? It's their country, their territory. Okay, it's only partially independent, but if it wasn't. We had a referendum on Scottish independence. I think we all paid attention to and were there. Some of us stayed up all night to watch the result. I didn't get a vote, did I? And that's, and there's nothing wrong with that. I don't oppose that. That's perfectly fine. But Denmark does not get a vote on where Greenland goes. And from the US point of view, if Denmark can't defend Greenland, then Denmark is a useless ally.
Yeah.
And then we've all become useless to them.
Well, I agree with that. So you got Keir Starmer going pompous, joining all the other European leaders, a sovereign Greenland territory. As you say quite right, for the Greenlanders to decide, you cannot have this sovereign territory. Sovereign, he's not very worried about the sovereign territory of the Chagos Islands, is he? He's not worried about the right of the Chagosians to decide on the future of their land. Doesn't give a damn about that, just handing that over to Greenland. As I say, Donald Trump, if this Chinese embassy saga has anything positive about it, it is that it has finally woken Donald Trump up to the insanity of our Chagos Islands giveaway. He tweeted on Truth Social, his own social media site today, shockingly, our brilliant, he put that in quotes, shockingly, our brilliant NATO ally, the United Kingdom, is currently planning to give away the island of Diego Garcia, the site of a vital US military base, to Mauritius, and to do so for no reason whatsoever. The UK giving away extremely important land is an act of great stupidity and is another very long line of national security reasons why Greenland has to be acquired. Denmark and its European allies have to do the right thing. So he's conflating the two issues. I don't think there's any kind of comparison to be made, apart from the fact that on the one hand, Keir Starmer said it's disgraceful, the sovereignty of the Greenlanders, it's for their right, we cannot just take their land, it's their land, the people of that land. The Chagosians, oh, sod them, give it away, give it to Mauritius. There is a complete contradiction in Starmer's approach to this. And frankly, in their human rights lawyer guise, Keir Starmer and Richard Herman, the Attorney General, are utter cretins, because this is just about their North London 1970s anti-colonial worldview. It's only right that the imperialist remnants of the British Empire be handed back to their real people. Well, you know, maybe in some cases that's right, but not the Chagos Islands, because the Chagos Islands has never belonged to Mauritius. And also, by the way...
And they don't want to go, Kev. They don't want to go. The Chagos Islanders don't want to go. They want to stay. They want to stay with us. This is ridiculous 1970s politics by a bunch of, you know, nearing 60-year-olds who never grew up.
Exactly right.
And you see that in Mauritius's alleged lawyer is Philippe Sands, and he's a man in his 60s who likes to wear t-shirts in public. I mean, I just have nothing else contemptuous to say about him. Richard Herman is a bad lawyer, because he was trying to argue that there is a legal case for us giving away the Chagos Islands that is wrong as law.
There is,
and law is one of those absolutes. We're like maths, okay? Yeah. 2 plus 2 doesn't occasionally equal 5 just because you have feelings, vibes, and got excited in the 70s. 2 plus 2 equals 4. The Chagos Islands, we have authority over them. They are our sovereign territory. The International Court of Justice has no right to make any ruling on them, made no ruling on them, cannot make any ruling on them, and cannot take away our land. So they are giving away our land on a false premise. And frankly, Kev, I'm starting to think these people are going to end up being prosecuted.
The other good thing about it is now that Trump has woken up to it, I mean, this is not a done deal, and I think this may well have really thrown a big spoke into the wheel. So with a bit of luck, Trump's sudden eruption of objection may put a spanner in the works of this deal, and let's hope it does. Let's give Labour their right of reply and what their case is about the Chagos Islands. This is that guy, Darren Jones. He's Chief Secretary to the Prime Minister. He's the guy who thinks that the vast majority of migrants coming across the Channel are babies, women and children. So that's the calibre of this guy. Here he is on the Chagos Islands deal.
I don't think Britain should be embarrassed or humiliated at all, quite frankly. Diego Garcia, which is a small island that was part of the British Empire, was having its sovereignty challenged by the Mauritian government. We've secured that island as a military base for the next 100 years because it is an important military base for the UK and for our NATO allies, including the United States. That was why the deal was welcomed by President Trump and the American administration, because the deal not only secured the island for the next century, but gave us very, very important security guarantees about the functioning of the island and the seas near it.
Yeah, thanks, Darren. And of course, the key phrase in that asinine statement by him in which he says, oh, you know, Trump loves this deal. Well, clearly, he says it's an act of great stupidity. So if that's supporting the deal, I'd hate to see him opposing it. But the key...
Well, he's making a legal statement there, Kev. He's saying that the UK has secured control of those islands for at least 100 years after we give them away to Mauritius.
30 billion quid is going to cost us.
That is not true, Kev. It is not true as law. And the minute that the Trump administration wakes up to that, they're going to react. I mean, he can go on television and he can say things that are not true as law. And I can, you know, my usual position, Kev. He's either an idiot or he's a liar, and I don't care which one he is. He's wrong. Okay, he's wrong.
Do you know
you are either right or wrong on law, and he is wrong.
You know the key phrase in in that appearance on TV by Darren Jones? It was the Chagos Islands, which was a part of the British Empire, which of course Darren and Richard Hermer and Keir Starmer want to smash to pieces to get rid of every single remnant because they're opposed to colonialism, because
it's
mentally...
absurd, Kev. I mean, I'm here in Buckinghamshire. We were part of the British Empire.
Well...
And we as a country need to be proud of how we deal with territories, how we let people have independence, and we need to ask questions about places like Denmark that basically force Greenland to remain as colonies. The French are pretty bad with their ex-colonies too, and so are the Portuguese. Let's ask questions about these former colonial powers and not beat ourselves up when we actually behave in a really decent way. We even let Scotland have a referendum if it wanted to go. I mean, that's...
Yeah, but
when Ireland left, we gave them special legal powers and voting rights and free travel. And we defend them militarily.
There is no sense whatsoever to us giving away the Chagos Islands unless you're some kind of throwback to the 1970s and you think British imperialism is still an issue. Absolutely absurd. These people are not fit to run the country. They're dangerous. They are... This deal, if we give away the Chagos, hopefully Donald Trump will now smash that deal to pieces. But if we give it away, we have created a serious threat to Western security. Unbelievable. Now, when we come back, talking of unbelievable, I've got a doozy of a migrant case for you.